Space. 1999 wasn't just a sci-fi series. It was a show that captured hearts with its action, mystery, and unforgettable crew. Fans remember Commander Koenig, Dr. Helena Russell, and the brave team who inspired millions on screen. But off-screen, many of the cast faced struggles the audience never knew. Behind the smiles and epic episodes, some actors battled personal demons, others faced career heartbreak, and a few met tragic ends that shocked fans worldwide. In this video, we reveal the hidden stories and shocking truths behind the stars of Space, 1999. Stay with us, because what happened off-screen will forever change the way you remember this beloved show. Martin James Landau, Commander John Koenig. Martin James Landau was born on June 20th, 1928, in Brooklyn, New York. At 47, he took on the role of Commander John Koenig in Space, 1999, becoming the strong, principled leader of Moonbase Alpha. For fans of 1970s sci-fi, his performance gave the series both weight and heart, cementing him as an iconic figure of television history. Landau's career was filled with triumphs and heartbreaks. He earned acclaim in Alfred Hitchcock's North by Northwest, 1959, and won an Academy Award for his unforgettable portrayal of Bela Lugosi in Ed Wood, 1994. Yet behind his success were deep struggles. His 36-year marriage to co-star Barbara Bain ended in divorce in 1993, leaving him emotionally shaken. Long stretches without work forced him to teach acting, a period he later admitted tested his confidence and left him feeling abandoned by Hollywood. In his later years, Landau's health declined, and on July 15, 2017, he died at Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center in Los Angeles due to complications from a brief illness at age 89. With a net worth of about $10 million, he left behind a legacy far greater than wealth, a career of resilience, brilliance, and unforgettable roles that continue to move audiences. Christopher Lee, Captain Xantor, Christopher Frank Carandini. Lee was born on May 27, 1922, in Belgravia, London. At 53, he appeared in Space, 1999 as Captain Xantor, a dignified alien leader. Although a brief role, it reflected the commanding presence that defined his career. Lee became an icon of horror and fantasy cinema, forever remembered as Count Dracula in Hammer films, and later as Saruman in The Lord of the Rings and Count Dooku in Star Wars. Lee's career was vast, spanning over 6 decades and 275 screen credits. Beyond acting, he was multilingual, served in World War II, and even recorded heavy metal albums late in life. Yet his career was not without struggle. Typecast as Dracula, he long fought to break free from horror roles. His personal life, however, was stable. He shared a devoted marriage to Birgit Kronke for over 50 years. In his later years, Lee battled health complications but remained active in film well into his 80s. He died on June 7, 2015, at Chelsea and Westminster Hospital in London after respiratory problems and heart failure, aged 93. At his passing, his net worth stood around $25 million. Christopher Lee's towering presence and magnetic performances left an indelible mark on cinema history. Peter Cushing, Rand Peter Wilton. Cushing was born on May 26, 1913, in Kenley, Surrey, England. At 62, he played Rand in Space, 1999, but he was already world-renowned for his Hammer horror roles and as Grand Moff Tarkin in Star Wars, 1977. His career made him a beloved figure of classic British cinema, admired for his elegance and humanity on screen. Cushing's career highlights include acclaimed roles in The Curse of Frankenstein, 1957, Dracula, 1958, and The Hound of the Baskervilles, 1959. Despite professional triumphs, his personal life carried heartbreak. His marriage to actress Helen Beck lasted until her death in 1971, a loss that devastated him. Friends recalled that Cushing never recovered emotionally, often expressing his longing to be reunited with her. In later years, declining health and grief weighed heavily on him. He continued to work, delivering remarkable performances, but his life was marked by loneliness. Peter Cushing died on August 11, 1994, in Canterbury, England, from prostate cancer at age 81. At his death, his net worth was estimated at $10 million. Remembered as both a horror icon and a gentleman of cinema, Cushing's grace and artistry continue to inspire generations. Barry Morse, Professor Victor Bergman. Herbert Barry Morse was born on June 10, 1918 in Shoreditch, London. At 57, he portrayed Professor Victor Bergman in Space, 1999, a role that showcased his intellectual gravitas and warmth. As Bergman, Morse brought humanity to science fiction, creating a character beloved by fans for his wisdom and moral compass. Morse's career spanned stage, screen, and television. He starred in The Fugitive as Lieutenant Philip Gerard, chasing Dr. Richard Kimball across America, which became his most famous role before Space, 1999. He also acted on Broadway and in numerous British dramas. Yet despite professional success, Morse faced private difficulties. Moving between Britain and Canada often left him feeling caught between two careers, struggling with financial instability at times. His marriage to actress Sidney Sturgis endured until her death in 1999, which deeply saddened him. In his final years, Morse focused on humanitarian efforts, supporting theater education and charitable causes. He passed away on February 2, 2008, in London, from Parkinson's disease at age 89. His estate was modest, around $5 million, but his legacy was rich in artistry. Patrick Troughton. Archon. Patrick George Troughton was born on March 25, 1920, in Mill Hill, London. At 55, he appeared in Space, 1999 as Archon, but he was already famous as the second Doctor in Doctor Who. His tenure from 1966 to 1969 made him a cult figure in British television, remembered for his eccentricity and charm. Troughton's career also included Shakespearean theater and roles in films like The Omen, 1976. Yet behind the success, his personal life was complicated. Married to Margaret Dunlop, he later lived with girlfriend Ethel Margaret, fathering children in both relationships, leading to scandal and strained family ties. Professionally, he sometimes felt overshadowed by Doctor Who, struggling to secure varied roles after leaving the show. Tragically, Troughton's life ended suddenly. On March 28, 1987, while attending a sci-fi convention in Columbus, Georgia, he suffered a fatal heart attack just after his 67th birthday. Known for overworking, his health had long been under strain. At his death, his net worth was modest, around $2 million. Patrick Troughton's legacy endures through Doctor Who and Space, 1999, where his energy and unique presence left a lasting imprint on science fiction history. Roy Dotrice. Commissioner Gerald Simmons, Roy Dotrice, was born on May 26, 1923, in Guernsey, Channel Islands. At 52, he appeared in Space 1999 as Commissioner Gerald Simmons, bringing authority and tension to the role. His presence gave the series political weight, reflecting human conflicts amid cosmic danger. Dotrice's career was extraordinary. He earned a Guinness World Record for the greatest number of characters voiced by a single actor, 223, in his narration of George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire audiobooks. He also appeared as Leopold Mozart in Amadeus, 1984, and played King Balor in Hellboy the Inonan. Despite success, his early years were marked by hardship. Captured during World War II, he endured years as a prisoner of war, shaping his resilience. Personally, he enjoyed a long marriage to Kay Newman until her death in 2007, after which he admitted to profound loneliness. In later years, health issues slowed him, though he continued to work sporadically. Roy Dotrice passed away on October 16, 2017, in London at age 94. His net worth was estimated at $5 million. His powerful performances and rich voice work left a legacy that stretched from stage to screen to literature. Freddy Jones. Dr. Charles Logan. Frederick Charles Jones, known as Freddy Jones, was born on September 12, 1927 in Staffordshire, England. At 48, he appeared in Space, 1999 as Dr. Charles Logan. Though a smaller role, Jones's versatility made him one of Britain's most respected character actors, admired for his ability to transform into any persona. Jones's career highlights include his role in David Lynch's The Elephant Man, 1980, where he portrayed Bites, and his work in Dune, 1984, and Wild at Heart, 1990. On television, he appeared in Emmerdale as Sandy Thomas, earning affection from a new generation of viewers. Despite his professional acclaim, Jones endured personal battles. Early in his career, he struggled financially, working as a lab technician before pursuing acting full-time. He died on July 9, 2019, in Bicester, Oxfordshire, at age 91. At the time of his passing, his net worth was about $3 million. Barbara Bain, Dr. Helena Russell. Barbara Bain, born Mildred Fogel on September 13, 1931, in Chicago, Illinois, became a household name through her role as Dr. Helena Russell in Space, 1999. At 44, she brought intelligence and compassion to the role of Alpha's chief medical officer, offering fans a strong and thoughtful female presence in science fiction, a rarity at the time. Before Space, 1999, Bain's fame soared with her Emmy-winning turn as Cinnamon Carter in Mission Impossible, where she won 3 consecutive Emmys for Outstanding Lead Actress. Her work with then-husband Martin Landau made them one of television's power couples of the 1960s and 1970s. Their divorce in 1993 after 36 years of marriage was deeply painful, but Bain carried on with strength, continuing to act and inspire. Now in her 90s, Barbara Bain continues to be celebrated at conventions and special events, adored by fans who grew up watching her. Her net worth is estimated around $10 million, but her greatest legacy is breaking ground for women in television. As Dr. Russell, she gave sci-fi audiences a heroine of intellect, empathy, and quiet power, a role that continues to resonate across generations. Nick Tate, Alan Carter. Nick Tate was born on June 18, 1942, in Sydney, Australia. At 33, he rocketed to fame playing Eagle pilot Alan Carter in Space, 1999, where his charm and heroism made him a fan favorite. His character symbolized bravery and loyalty, representing the everyman caught up in extraordinary circumstances. Tate's career spanned both Australian and international productions. He appeared in The Year My Voice Broke, 1987, Hook, 1991, and lent his voice to countless film trailers, becoming one of the most recognizable voices in Hollywood. He also made appearances in Star Trek, The Next Generation, and Deep Space Nine, cementing his place in sci-fi culture. Despite success, Tate often faced the challenge of typecasting, with casting agents sometimes seeing him only as the heroic Carter. Yet he embraced his legacy with gratitude, frequently attending fan conventions and acknowledging the role's impact on his life. Now in his 80s, Tate continues to work occasionally in voice and screen projects. His net worth is estimated at around $5 million. His career and resilience have kept him beloved, especially among Space, 1999 fans who remember Alan Carter as the heart and courage of Moonbase Alpha. Joan Collins, Cara Dame. Joan Henrietta Collins was born on May 23, 1933, in London, England. At 42, she appeared in Space, 1999 as Cara, a glamorous alien whose presence electrified the episode. Already a star, her role brought additional allure to the series and showcased her timeless charisma. Collins's career is legendary. Rising to fame in the 1950s with films like Land of the Pharaohs, 1955, she became a television icon in the 1980s as Alexis Carrington in Dynasty, a role that earned her a Golden Globe and cemented her as one of TV's great divas. Beyond acting, Collins endured multiple marriages and divorces, often making tabloid headlines, yet she consistently reinvented herself with resilience. She survived personal struggles, including her sister Jackie Collins' death in 2015, which left her devastated. Through it all, she remained poised, witty, and unapologetically glamorous. Now in her 90s, Joan Collins continues to act, write, and inspire. Her net worth stands at around $20 million, but her cultural impact is priceless. She remains a living legend whose work, from Space 1999 to Dynasty, proves the enduring power of star presence. Catherine Schell, Maya Catherine Hermine Schell, was born on July 17, 1944 in Budapest, Hungary. At 31, she joined Space, 1999, in its second season as Maya, the metamorph who could transform into any creature. Her character added wonder and heart to the show, quickly becoming one of its most beloved figures. Schell's career included roles in On Her Majesty's Secret Service, 1969, The Return of the Pink Panther, 1975, and Doctor Who. She was admired for her elegance, humor, and versatility. Catherine Schell passed away on May 1, 2024, at age 79, after a long illness. At her death, her net worth was around $5 million. She remains remembered as a true sci-fi icon, whose role as Maya continues to inspire with its message of adaptability, courage, and compassion. Julian Glover. Jarek Julian Wyatt Glover was born on March 27, 1935, in London, England. At 41, he appeared in Space, 1999, as Jarek, lending the role his trademark intensity. Though brief, it reflected the commanding presence that would define his career across film and television. Glover's career flourished in blockbuster cinema. He played unforgettable villains such as General Veers in The Empire Strikes Back, 1980. Now in his late 80s, Julian Glover remains a celebrated figure in British acting. His net worth, estimated at $15 million, is a testament to his enduring career. His work, from Space 1999 to Game of Thrones, ensures he will be remembered as one of Britain's great character actors. Xenia Merton. Sandra Bennies. Xenia Merton was born on December 11, 1945, in Rangoon, Burma, now Yangon, Myanmar. At 29, she brought life to Sandra Bennies, the communications officer on Space, 1999. As one of the few women of Asian heritage in 1970s British television, her role carried cultural significance, giving visibility to underrepresented communities in science fiction. Merton's career extended beyond Space, 1999, with appearances in Doctor Who, Casualty, and Coronation Street. Fans admired her poise and dedication, though her career never reached the heights it deserved. Personally, she faced periods of financial struggle and the challenges of working in an industry with limited roles for women of her background. Despite this, she remained grateful for the loyalty of her fans. In her later years, Merton continued acting, appearing as Sandra Bennies one last time in Space, 1999. Breakaway, 2019 audio drama. Sadly, she died on September 14, 2018, in London from cancer at age 72. Her net worth was modest, around $1 million. Xenia Merton's legacy lies not in wealth, but in the representation she provided. The cast of Space, 1999, gave us unforgettable characters, but behind the cameras, many lived lives filled with struggle, heartbreak, and triumph. These are the stories you might not have heard, but they are the ones that truly matter. Which story touched you most? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.